Good morning. And now, because I edit this, I happen to know that I will look huge and you will look tiny.
Well, I've got
because
Joseph
you're
on.
slouched back in the opposite direction and I'm sat up like I always
I have a child on my lap.
I know, he's not happy this morning, is he?
No.
No. Right, let's see, not ignore him. That's not what I meant. Ignore what I meant at all, Jojo. But let's get, what are we talking about today?
Really exciting. It was about stats and where your traffic comes from on your website.
And why is just as important.
And this came from, actually, we were talking about this on our coffee. We have our virtual coffee morning every couple of weeks, which thank you to everyone who joined yesterday. A really good conversation, actually.
Yeah.
It was a conversation about, a bit like we had during this vlog during the week, the first 6 months of our year versus what's going to be happening in the next 6 months of our year as per our business plans, annual plan, whatever you want to call them. And then it reminded me yesterday to talk about a bit of our Baylily traffic and how it so exciting happened with that. And we started talking about how SEO and blogging and all that is a long game.
Can I do the backstory there? I'm doing the backstory part. You do this part, I'll do the backstory.
He always wants to do the fun bit.
That's the fun bit.
And how even though it feels like it's all for nothing, we're not getting a return on investment, it's a big bind in our day, and I have to find hours to think of something to write about, and I have to do keyword research, and I have to optimize this and optimize that, and is it doing anything for me? We have a prime example of it doing something for us. So Baylily Bell Tents at the moment, and we've talked about this many times, is going through a bit of a slump.
Yes. Well, no. It's not going through a slump.
The views for our wedding pages and all of that on our website aren't getting many hits right now, mainly because no one's planning a wedding this summer.
Yeah, because events have been wiped off the face of the planet. So we're coming to the point in a moment. So a lot of our normal traffic isn't there. Yeah. Fine.
So the numbers on our analytics are a little bit lower than we would normally expect at this time of year, but we are understanding of that because we check our figures. We check our figures weekly, actually, for Baylily Bell Tents. And then last week, or the week before last, I was in shock going, we've had 900 hits to our website. What's going on? And it was really, really weird. I was like, I'm great, a great situation to be in for the week. And I was like, but what is different between now and last week when we maybe have 100, 150?
And let's be brutally honest, 900 hits on our Baylily Bell Tents website in one period, a day are we talking about?
It was a couple of days.
Is quite a lot. Even in like peak event season when we have traffic, people coming and booking stuff, that's still a lot for us. Okay.
Yeah. So it was good. And when I looked at our analytics and we backlooked, there was one blog on our website that was delivering all of that traffic from Google to clicking on that website straight through our website. And that blog was, Alan?
It was glamping on the ITVs This Morning. So can I do the backstory now? So this is the back. There's two backstories, right? One is fact. One is not fact, but we're rolling with it, and we are still putting it out in the public domain. So if Alice Beer or any of the This Morning team watch this, we're not saying it's fact, but we reckon this is pretty accurate. Anyway, fact is Baylily Bell Tents, because of our online presence we grew over the couple of years or so, was invited to go onto ITVs This Morning multiple times for glamping segments. Fact, okay? And we've talked about it a lot, right? And we will always talk about it because it makes us smile and it's fun and it's amazing and it was an opportunity and everything else.
And I got to meet Rylan Clark.
I met Rylan, Andy Peters, all my kind of heroes and everything else. Love Rylan.
Oh, my hero.
I love Rylan. We can't have a problem with Rylan because Rylan was just someone who knew what he wanted and went out and got it. So you can't have a problem with Rylan. But what we did, as we always do about these things, we got home and we blogged about it on the Baylily Bell Tents website. And this blog sat there. We did the keyword research. We researched. We thought about it. We made sure the content was engaging. We made sure there's call to actions on the page and everything else. But still, quite a specific keyword. Someone was going to have to be searching for something like ITV This Morning glamping, right? That was the keyword, something like that. But we'd done a bit of research and we reckon that was pretty accurate. Anyway, fast forward to this year, and at the start of lockdown, Emily and I are like, right, we need to make some noise. We need to do something. We talked about this on one of the coffee mornings, didn't we? Because people were going, good luck with that. We need to make some noise. And so what we decided to do, because we had the producer of this morning's email address from previous visits, we emailed them going, we've got a great idea for a feature. We've got loads of tents, bell tents, because we do scout and camping. We put them all up in the garden, and we'll do a feature for you on, what you can do. Yeah,
garden gamping.
Garden gamping.
Not glamping, gamping.
Yeah, gamping to keep the kids entertained, lockdown fun, all the rest of it. And they replied going, wow, that's a fab idea, but I need to speak to someone else, blah, blah, blah. And then it went quiet, right? Fast forward from that email about a month or 6 weeks, something like that. And Alice Blimmin Beer, who we love Alice. Alice Blimmin Beer is doing a feature on ITVs This Morning about camping in your back garden and what you can do. Anyway, we now reckon that was our idea, but that's fine.
It was probably the same segment they do every single year.
Yeah. It's not really a problem, but that's it. Anyhow, let's get to the point. They didn't use our bell tent company in the feature. They used a different one, but that's okay because we don't sell bell tents, so we hire them out, so that's kind of okay. But people then started Googling ITVs This Morning, glamping and bell tents, and we were number one on Google because we put the time and effort to blog about it. Emily, get back to statty parts.
It was really super exciting. So even though we weren't on the show this year, the traffic from This Morning still served us in 2020, bringing traffic to our website.
Essentially, if they ever do a glamping feature in any way, shape or form, we are number one on Google for that kind of vague.
Until every other glamping company now watches this vlog.
We know glamping companies do not watch this vlog.
But when we wrote this blog in 2019, I think it was 2019 or 2018, but we've done a couple. When we wrote this blog in 2019,
I think we blogged both times about it because that would have been pertinent.
We didn't necessarily get a return on that investment for writing that blog the few days after we were on that segment. But what this shows you is that if you optimize your content in the right way and do it properly, this content will come back and serve you later. It might be months, it might be days, it could be years down the line. And that is a prime example of why you should do that. Yeah. And this is also what Alan and I talk about in terms of when you have PR opportunities, you talk about it before, you talk about it during, you talk about it after, because you never know how it's going to help you in the long term. And this was a really prime example of that. So even if you're struggling, I know Dudley's got a little cut in his. Even if you're struggling to think about why you should be blogging right now, even if it's not like when you get a Facebook or an Instagram post put up and you get instant gratification because you get 20 likes or X amount of comments, it really is better for you to be doing this optimized work when you're looking for people to help find you on Google search and search engines who are going to be and that evergreen content, because it does come over time and time and time again. And we just wanted to share that little story with you today because it did make us smile. It did bring traffic to our website.
And inquiries. And inquiries,
again, more national than we would have liked probably. But it was still good conversations to be had.
3 Yellow Tuxedo things off of the back of this.
Go on then.
So our fifth theme, which we always talk about, is legacy and PR. This is about the long game. Fab example of this being about the long game. The second one is you never know the name of the person who is Googling you, something we always say. This is another fantastic example of that. We did not think about people watching ITVs This Morning and Googling us. Basically, we didn't think about that, and so you never know, so you've got to kind of do work for that. The third part is embrace the grey. I saw a fab, I'm trying to think what You Are The Media called it yesterday, a fab article. Basically, they called Embrace the Grey in a very, like everything, not everything has an ROI. We call it Embrace the Grey. Gary V talks about what's the ROI of your mum, and You Are The Media called it not everything's like quantifiable with an ROI, something like that. It's all the same. You can't always put your effort into black and white things with a direct ROI, because where the fun and the excitement and the unimaginable comes from are those things that you can't always put a direct ROI on. Like when Gary V's talking about the ROI of your mum, it's because she spent X amount of years bringing you up, hopefully, possibly, so you can't put an ROI on that investment into you. And this is like this, we've done this blog because we want to talk about it and we shared it out at the time, so Google have started ranking it, but the grey area is everything else that happens past that. So that's why you have to put the time and effort in, because you don't always know where it's going to go. But that's where the excitement comes, the big growth rather than the gradual growth, and all these other fantastic things that we put under embracing the grey. Right, let's draw a line, unless you've done.
This
I've got really
2-year-old,
itchy nose
this
as well.
2-year-old here, from the day he was born up until now, has not stopped twiddling my hair. He doesn't have a comfort blanket. He doesn't have a favourite toy.
He sucks his thumb and plays your hair.
He sucks his thumb and he plays.
I have
my
to
hair.
say, it's very funny, and it is not just you. It's like his nans he will do it with as well. But one of the nans was coming over, and we were trying to social distance, and she was sat there, and he got off to someone else, I can't remember who, went and got a chair, pulled it up behind his nanny, got up on the chair, put his finger in his thumb and went to play with her hair, and we're like, no social distancing, and like smashed him back down to the ground. No, we didn't. We didn't. No one was smashed. But it is funny.
But he tries to do it with you and he goes, oh, there's no hair.
Yeah, he does. And I from an early age say no. Anyway, have a fantastic afternoon. Bye.